This should update now. It works! Guns? I thought you guys talked about it in the old podcast. Should probably. Should probably. No, I'm teasing. Should probably share out to the link, though, to different things. For those who are unable to join in conversation, they can at least join in chat. Oh, we can create highlights and put markers throughout the stream for random reason, because we'll totally be doing that. What about them sports balls?
Are they sporting?
I think they're pretty ballin'.
Awesome. Oh, Michael, what if we talk about the hockey game you went to?
Oh, I
That
think
would be a pretty good idea.
you went to a hockey
Yeah,
game.
Hello,
yeah.
everyone. Welcome
So,
to the debut episode of the Milk Toast podcast. Uh, I'm Michael.
I'm Amy.
Oh, we're doing introductions. Shit. Uh, I am the man, the myth, the legend, Demetrios.
And thanks for tuning in.
Yeah.
This will be our podcast where we discuss topics relating to the Pacific Northwest, especially in Washington State, both from a news, a podcast standpoint, and just our general uh, goings in life. Nothing too special. If you're still around after our little issues we had near the beginning setting this up, then I thank you. And let's begin.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
issue is I just didn't press a button called Go Live on YouTube's end.
Well, that's okay. We're here now, in theory.
In
Yeah,
theory,
in theory.
you know, if we were a bit more professional, we'd have something to look at. But we're not.
Yeah.
So instead, I'll just
Well,
have this picture here.
we
Cool.
would. We could always
Uh-huh.
do
Would.
the thing where we put up images that relate to the topic we're talking about at certain
Uh,
timestamps.
no, that'd require editing. Damn it, we're live.
All right,
That's fair.
I respect that. I respect that too.
Um,
Are we boring you folks yet? Sorry about that. I swear we're not this boring in real life.
I hope
I hope not.
I have a lot of crazy stories I could tell. They're just really personal.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
on you if you want to share them.
Yeah, I would probably have to change the names. Uh, but I'll start with an uncrazy story, or at least
Well, yes, this
not
is the
ridiculously crazy.
This is the
Well,
get to know us episode.
Yeah. I just want to tell the story with Michael about how we went to the hockey game because it was pretty cool.
It was a great hockey game, and for those watching, listening, this was I forgot what league do they play in the Thunderbirds?
I'm not exactly sure, but I can easily look it up.
Yeah, we're not talking
not
about
the
the
NHL.
Seattle Kraken. Those are probably really good games as well. Have not gone to them. Would love to go to a game, but have not gone to a Kraken game yet. We're talking about the Seattle Thunderbirds.
I don't know if you guys
Yeah.
have looked at the stream, but I've given a very fitting image.
They're in the Western Hockey League.
And they were playing the Blazers from I forgot where. It was a province in Canada.
Yes. Let me find out what province. What province do Blazers?
Quality
Hey.
content, ladies and gentlemen.
I know, right? No. Wrong Blazers. Come on.
Did it give you like results for the
British
car that
Columbia.
they makes?
No, it was the Portland Blazers, the basketball team.
I didn't even know that was a basketball team. Wow. Wow. Thanks.
I knew it because I've been to a couple of their games because my dad has taken me all the way to Portland for games before. But
sweet.
anyways, yeah. I go to a lot of games with my dad, which is why I was able to invite you, because he took me to this game for my birthday. It was
Amy's
either
dad
that
is
or go to Emerald Downs.
Amy's dad is very cool, by the way. I can confirm. They bought me garlic fries. I love
That is
fries and
true.
garlic. Combine the two of them, it's a win-win.
Yes, it's a very good game that we watched. A lot of stuff happened.
Michael,
They
what
were
are you
like-
My
talking
very
about?
first.
Michael, what are you talking about? You are Amy's dad.
This is news to me. Amy, hello. I am your father, apparently.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we went to this hockey game, and it was actually my first hockey game. I remember telling
Yeah.
you that, Amy. And
Mhm.
I am a hockey fan now. I have never seen a hockey game live, and for that matter, I've actually never tuned into a hockey game on television either. I've seen clips probably on the news and such, but wow, I love hockey now. There is a lot of violence.
Yeah, it's great.
I mean, what's not to like about violence?
Exactly.
Well, this is like a different level of violence, though, for people who may not watch hockey. If you're only familiar with, football, baseball, I guess more mainstream American pastimes, if you're in Washington, Seahawks or the Mariners, we're talking about a whole new level of violence. Because these people, in football, you tackle each other, do the thing. But in hockey, Amy, you saw these people were throwing fists. They're
Oh yeah,
out
yeah.
there, like at each other's throats.
Especially if the ref calls something that they do not like, they will throw hands. And it's very entertaining. to watch them and cheer on these fights as they're happening.
I mean, from what I've
Because
heard about hockey is like that's the entire premise of the sport. It's not to get goals; it's just to beat people up.
yeah, well, that's why things like checking are allowed, and that's just normal play. It's just when throwing fists happens, that's when they start to bring in the refs or whatever.
You mean
For,
the
pers-
buzz kills?
Yeah, that's why
for
you boo on the
perspective,
refs every time.
I do recall seeing it was unintentional, I believe, but when they were actively playing during the um at some point in the game, all I remember is one of the players from, I think it was the Blazers from British Columbia.
Mhm.
They just ran into the ref. They just knocked him down, bonk. They're both just down on the ground, and I'm just gonna say that I can't really blame them though, because I will say there were a lot of instances where I feel the refs just got in the way of the actual game.
Yeah, that is a problem. I think there are 3 or 4 refs on the ice at a time, um, and they all have to like pay attention closely to see like whether or not a goal is good, but also there are several hockey players around them that are trying to score, so they have to avoid the players and the puck and try not to interfere with the game. It's probably a very hard job.
Yeah, it was a great game though. Wonderful. I loved it. I left there, and honestly, I can't wait till the next hockey game. I really
Is this going to be a
can't wait.
tradition
Unfortunately,
for you
that
guys
was like
now?
the end of the season. Um,
Well,
Maybe.
I always
I,
have
I think
the next
hockey
season to
tickets
look
aren't
forward to.
expensive. They're like probably $15 to $20, I think. Because this isn't like Kraken, where it's NHL. This is more like local Thunderbirds games. Those are, I don't know, how much do Thunderbirds tickets cost?
Google it.
Yeah, I'm looking it up right now. Um, yeah, tickets. One person view tickets.
Zoom?
Shoom,
Shum? Shum?
shoom.
Sorry, trying to get people into. Trying to sound the word out that we're live. So people
We
can
don't
Oh,
really
join.
we don't really have a fan base yet though, so I
You
mhm.
mean
mean
that's expected.
a subscriber base of all of 9 people consisting mostly of members?
Yeah, not enough chaos here.
Members
I feel there should be more
and
chaos.
alternate accounts. I am the force of chaos here. Listen, you.
Fair enough. You ever been to Costco and gotten the sundae, the strawberry sundae?
Strawberry Sunday? No.
Yeah, they just have the plain sundae, normal vanilla sundae, just vanilla sauce served in a cup. Chocolate sundae, chocolate sauce, and the strawberry ones where they have the strawberry sauce with the like canned strawberry types, the kind you would see in like a shortcake. They're really good. I went there. Man, was it? When was it? It was, I think, yeah, it was the day before Mother's Day. I
Hmm.
went with a good friend of mine. There, I will refer to them as Andy Man, and I went there with them, and I was getting a fan. It was really hot that day, and some flowers for my mom. He took me up there because I don't have a Costco membership. He does, so we could get in. And first of all, the fan, really good deal. Really nice fan. I forgot
How
what
much
brand
was
it
it?
was. It was only like $50, but it's a really nice fan. Comes with
Only
this fancy
$50, he says.
this fancy LCD display, has a remote, has like pivoting features, a nice base, and it's really good. I liked it a lot. My mom loved the flowers, and then we were there and we got to the food court, and we got the soft serve. We both got the strawberry, and it was really good. Really good. I liked it quite a bit.
So prices for tickets are like $30 to $40. So I was a bit off, but they're cheaper than most. So
Oh, okay. That's actually not too bad. For perspective, how much would like a I don't know like a Kraken ticket, like a the
ah,
NHL be?
let
The
me
big leagues,
find
so
out.
to speak.
You're in the big leagues, kid. Now, here's
Yep.
a real question. Would you consider playing hockey yourself? Or is that too scary for you?
I don't have the ability to skate on the ice nearly as well as my other friends do, so that's the main issue. If that wasn't an issue, then yes, solely because I want to engage in the violence.
So you're
They're
saying
like
you're not a
they're
coward.
actually
You just don't have balance.
I can skate pretty good, like roller skating, but I suppose for me it's different because whenever I go roller skating with my friends, including Amy, who I've gone roller skating with before, I have quads, classic, old
Four
school.
wheels. Usually.
Yeah, so I guess the dynamics are probably different compared to all my friends, including Amy, who have roller blades, but they're all in a line, which is more similar to ice skates, which
Yeah,
ice
blades versus
blades,
skates.
that probably has
yeah.
something to do with it. I have gone ice skating before, and I can get out there and I can go, but definitely not good enough to play hockey. I would be fighting myself way more than I would be fighting other people, which
I
at that point to me is pointless.
I think that it would take a lot of learning for someone like me to be able to do something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, really, it's
I'd
just an
be
amount of practice.
yeah. Um, so Kraken tickets are like $40 to like $50. So not much more actually.
Wow. So just go to a Kraken game, everyone. If you're in Washington State, which you probably are, and want to support your local hockey team, go to the Kraken game. Not too expensive.
Which you
40
probably
$50.
are.
Hey, if you're in Oregon, Idaho, or somewhere else in
Go
across
to a
the
Kraken's
US,
game.
yeah, come to Seattle. There's already a lot of people from other states who want to call this place home. So, hey, we have a lot of California transplants. We have a lot of Oregon transplants. We have a lot of Hawaii transplants also, which I never thought would be a thing, but I know quite a bit of people who were originally from Hawaii who now live in Washington. So,
Yeah, there's a
hey,
decent number of people that I know that are at least Pacific Islander origins. I don't know exactly where they're from, but like they're definitely like Pacific Islander as their primary quote unquote race.
kind of makes me wonder what exactly about Washington State that makes everyone want to come here.
I thought everyone wanted to go to LA and New York.
That train left a long time ago. I mean, I think you would have to go to like the the 60s and the 60s and 70s when people wanted to really go to LA, and you'd have to go quite a bit back, I would think, to where people want to go to New York City. I suppose there's always been an interest in New York City, just big city, biggest city in the nation. There's been kind of, I guess, an interest because of the novelty of it, but I don't know. Are people actually going to like NYC and still going to LA? I've always heard that people have been leaving those places
I
en
mean,
masse
at least
nowadays.
at least in the film industry, they're still popular, but it's just like, I don't understand why anyone wants to go to Hollywood when, like, Hollywood's such a toxic environment. From all the things I've heard about it.
I was purposely pausing to give a chance for Amy to interject if they wanted, but
I have nothing really to say. I mean, I've considered moving near LA, but I'm weird, and that's where most of my family is, anyways.
I guess since this is the getting to know us stream, should we discuss what all of our primary current motives are in life, or something like that? Or is that something we should
Sex,
save for later?
drugs, money, power.
That's all surface level.
The ability to somehow fix the world.
No one wants to do that. Everyone knows. Just get rid of the world, make a new one.
just generate a new world. Loading terrain.
Oh, there's already natives here. Let's handle that. Manifest Destiny intensifies.
Yep. I suppose in terms of goals and
Rose is
such.
back.
Rose.
Sorry I'm late.
You're fine.
Came back from dinner.
Rose, it's your turn to introduce yourself.
Yeah.
You did what in dinner?
I had to do dinner.
You had to do your dinner. Wow.
Yeah.
I mean,
It was very saucy.
I mean, did you at least last long enough?
Yeah, actually. You guys in the audience don't know. I was actually in dinner before the podcast started, so I lasted pretty long. Yeah. Anyways, hello, my name is Rose. I've been listening into this conversation off and on, and first things I want to say, fuck Seattle Kraken. It's all about the Colorado Avalanchers. Yeah, go hockey. Ooh, even though I never seen a hockey game of the Colorado Avalanches, I just love them because of their logo.
You should go to one of those games then. I'd totally.
I mean, I should. I used to live near Colorado, so you know, that's a missed opportunity. But yeah, I live in a big PNW, Washington State now. It's my career in life. I actually want to be an artist and not just like a painter or like a drawer or something, but like I love like ceramics. I love making sculptures of like wires and paper. I also like making music and doing mashups on my off time. Well, I used to. I don't do that anymore, but I still like it. And I also like writing stories about food and poetry as well. I think those are my aspirations and career goals at Bike. But for now, I'm just a nursing assistant, helping people out at their homes. And it sounds kind of lame or tedious, but it actually isn't. I get to have a nice connection with clients and people's homes and families. You know, although it is hard work, I find it rewarding. At least I'm helping people live. That's how I like to think about it. Okay, that's it for me.
See,
Cool.
Amy, that's what I was talking about when like I meant give a bit more of those background details about ourselves. It's just a question of do we want to do that, or should we save that for later on?
I like introducing myself slowly through the random stories I tell.
Ah, yes.
I like that too. Yeah.
The difference is I don't have random stories to tell.
I have a lot of random stories to tell because I have a wild romantic life and I do drugs.
I can attest to that.
Mhm.
I can be your witness in the stand.
Yes.
You know, it's a good thing they're legal
Mm.
here in Washington.
Hmm.
Um, are we going to get into the podcast, or are we still
This
doing
is
our
the
introductions?
This
I
is-
mean, like the
this
main
is a
topic
podcast.
of the podcast, you know.
This is the podcast. What are you talking about?
But the main topic we're
This is
talking
the
about.
topic.
I thought we were going to. I thought we were going to talk about Governor Inslee.
Yeah.
Who?
I mean,
Inslee.
Who?
Jaybert NZ Lee.
Never heard of him.
Okay. I
So,
hope you're being
Michael,
sarcastic.
how are
but
you
okay.
taking the opportunity to become governor?
Yeah, Michael,
if
when are
he's
you going to
stepping
become our
down-
overlord?
Uh, well, that's a work in progress. But for now, I'm just kind of doing my thing. That's a good
Yeah.
segue for, and I guess, this introduction. I'm not sure if I can follow up as good of an introduction as that, but everyone, as I've told you in the beginning, I'm Michael. And right now I work as a nursing assistant, and I am currently in school right now to try and become a nurse because I want to help people, and doing so in nursing has always been familiar to me. Having a mother who was a nurse and coming from a family of nurses, it's always interested me, and I want to help out my community and help out people. And what better way to do that than through healthcare? So, yeah, when I'm not doing this podcast, when I'm not doing things relating to the content here, I am probably in nursing school, or I am playing music recreationally. I play the drums primarily,
Yeah.
and yeah, that's me. I will not be your governor in 2024, as I have.
But will you be
Hey,
our
well-
governor in 25?
Will you be our governor in 2028?
Yeah, whatever the
Governor in
next election is.
2028. I was gonna say 25, unless whoever wins 24 just like steps down, and the
Yeah.
lieutenant governor dies, and
Look,
we have
we're
to have
going
a
to become
special
so
election.
popular that they're going to have no
Yeah.
choice but be like, damn, this guy, he deserves it more than me. This random guy on the internet, he should be governor.
Yeah,
Yeah,
obviously.
Bob Ferguson or Hillary France decides that I don't want to be governor, and Denny Heck just is like, well, I just don't exist anymore. Then yes, we'll have a special election in 2025. That will be wonderful. Unfortunately, I will probably not run in that election either, because something people don't realize about political campaigning is, as sad as it is, money is very important.
What do you mean, Michael? That's what we have this for. All those $0 that we're collecting, clearly, directly to the campaign fund.
Ay nako. Dimitri.
Michael, you get
Please.
50% of the profits.
Oh no, no! Please, that's too much responsibility for me. But yeah, so
Responsibility. It's all about the perks.
if anyone hasn't heard yet, and for some reason you haven't heard from a bigger news source like the Seattle Times, Governor Jay Inslee is retiring in 2024. He will not be running for re-election to a fourth term. He will be finishing up his term, which will go into 2025, which has opened the primary field to a lot of candidates. This is the first open governor's race since 2012.
Wow.
The major
Well-
candidates for the office include already announced candidates as of the time of this recording. On the Democratic side, Hillary Franz, the public commissioner of lands, I believe is the title of her office in Washington State. And potential candidates, heavily hinted, is the current Attorney General of Washington, Bob Ferguson. In terms of the Republican side, no major candidates have stepped forward yet. A lot of speculation has been regarding Jamie Herrera Butler, who was one of the Republicans who used to be in the House of Representatives, who voted to impeach Trump, ran for re-election in 2022, got primaried by a Trump MAGA person, self-described pro-Trump candidate, Joe Kent, in that southwestern district. Lost her primary, and that election, fun fact, ended up going to the Democrats because of that. So yeah, Jamie Herrera Butler has been speculated, but so far, no one wants to step into the ring. But honestly, I don't think you have to be politically inclined in any way to understand that any Republican who wants to run for governor in Washington State is facing the biggest uphill battle of their life. So, can't blame her if she doesn't want to, honestly.
Yeah.
For the amount of like vehicles I see that have like their car stickers say "fuck Governor Inslee" and like liberals, I'm surprised that no one really wants to like step up to the plate as a Republican for the state.
Well, a lot of that has to do with just the issue that a lot of the Republicans, on the east and west side of the Cascades, are very vocal in their dislike of Inslee. Not to say that independents don't dislike him as well, and even some Democrats have their issues with Inslee. But Republicans in the state of Washington just have a very vocal minority kind of thing going for them. They always make a big fuss during the elections, putting up stickers, putting up signs, everything relating to that. But come election day, they get blown out of the water. I mean, they lose badly. If you go back to the 2022 election, midterm elections, we had a Senate election. Patty Murray was up for re-election. The Republican candidate, a nurse, Tiffany Smiley, from, I believe it was Pasco, Washington, one of the Tri-Cities on the east side, ran against her. National Republicans even poured money into the race. I believe a super PAC funded by Mitch McConnell actually gave money to her campaign. And who would have guessed it? The race was called at 1%, and Patty Murray ended up winning re-election by a very substantial margin. So, hey,
Hey, Chloe's here.
Welcome to the podcast.
You must now
Hey.
introduce yourself.
Hey, I'm Chloe. What
Did
else
you
was
like
it?
what I put in general?
That's actually what called me.
Oh,
Of
That's
course.
what got me
the
on.
summons.
Yeah.
I'm glad it worked.
So how's the podcast going?
It's podcasting.
It's gone. We're
It's actually-
talking.
Doing pretty well.
Yeah. We're talking about the governor race.
The who race?
Oh.
The governor. I think they're white. That's the race.
Ah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean,
Anything else you want to say, Chloe?
No.
Good.
Okay.
Do a short intro, just like me. That way I'm not alone in
Thanks for
this.
having me, guys. It was great. I'll be here.
Oh, they're gone.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
mean, the audience knows more about you, Amy, than they do about me.
That's true.
But we're not going to go any deeper into that, and we're continuing with this story of the governor race.
I guess my that was kind of the end of my spiel, but I guess my
Yeah.
question would be: is there any chance of someone who's not a Democrat winning the governor's race in 2024? And my personal opinion is very little.
Yeah, definitely. Washington is a very blue state, despite what some regions would tell you.
Yeah.
Well, that's settled. If you're a Republican candidate running for office, you're probably not going to win. Best of luck to you. And hey, if you do, I
Congratulations.
will
Michael will do
congratulate
absolutely
you
nothing
on.
other than give praise.
Yeah, I will congratulate you on the next podcast that happens after that election. So, yeah, my word to you.
We make no promises of anything.
Well, maybe I could run for governor. Yeah.
Amy could. She could run for governor.
Yeah.
Would
Governor.
it be a good thing though?
I don't know.
I mean, they probably
I'd
make
have
it so
whatever
that drugs are more
powers the
accessible
governor
than they already
has.
are.
Yeah, that would be my whole campaigns for healthcare and legalizing drugs.
The healthcare is just legalizing the drugs. Don't mix it
Well,
up. They don't
healthcare is
actually
very
care about health.
involved. But like, come on, we're working our way towards legalizing psilocybin in this state.
The fuck is that?
Mushrooms.
I just don't understand this stuff. Why do people want depressants?
It's not a depressant.
They are depressants.
No, they aren't. Do you know what mushrooms do? Do you know how they act in the brain? Do you know about the serotonin receptors in the brain and how they work?
You think I'm going to do research?
No.
Yes.
They're,
You expect too much of me, Rose.
the only way they'd be kind of considered a depressant is you probably can't walk around while you're on them, but that's because you're seeing so many things.
I don't see how it should be. I don't see what the appeal of drugs that dull the senses and make things annoying are appealing.
You drink
Because
alcohol,
been
don't
shown-
you, Dimitri?
Not often, and not usually
Fair
in
enough.
a large amount.
Fair enough.
Okay, well,
I have never been drunk.
anyways, there are a lot of promising studies on psilocybin being used to help with depression. Either in microdosing or in major therapy sessions using major amounts of psilocybin.
And what's the addiction rate?
There is no addiction rate because you can't be physically addicted to shrooms. Unlike opiates and other drugs where you can get physically addicted to them, you can't really get physically addicted to shrooms because it affects the serotonin receptors, not the dopamine receptors.
But you can still become dependent on them, which is a form of addiction.
And to add to that, you can certainly become psychologically addicted to them as well.
That is true. But you can become dependent or addicted to almost anything.
This is true.
So
Just like Zoomers are addicted to their phones.
Why do
Are
you
we
say
called-
Zoomers? As if
Are we called
like
Zoomers now? Is that like what we're called now? I have no idea actually.
No, that's the
only
legit
refer to
term.
myself as Gen Z. So
No, the term Zoomer.
well, I refuse to use that term.
Well, that is your choice, and you are wrong.
I think I've seen people on TikTok actually in our generation call ourselves Zoomers also. So I've heard of this before. I just didn't think it was a mainstream thing. Okay, I guess we're Zoomers.
Opposite,
guess-
opposite of Boomer.
I will say something really interesting. I'm not gonna name them, but I was talking with for simplicity. Let's just call them a younger cousin, just for simplicity purpose. And they're actually not part of our generation because we are done being born. They're part of the next generation,
What are they called?
Generation Alpha.
That's such a stupid name.
Why?
We are already
We
showing
ran out of the
signs
English alphabet, so now we're going on to the others.
I think it's a cool sounding name. I think it sounds better than Gen Z and Zoomers. I'm kind of jealous, not gonna lie.
You know, I find it funny when people are like, "Shut up, Zoomer," when they themselves are technically a Zoomer.
But I'm just saying, I think the generation after us, I think they're gonna steamroll us in the sense that I was talking with her, my younger cousin, and they're very young. I'll just say single digit age range, and they already know how to work multiple group chats. They know how to use all the tech that we can, but at such a young age. I remember being 7, 8, 9, and I didn't have a smartphone.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
because
maybe
smartphones didn't exist when you were 8.
exactly, and that's what I'm saying. Like they're gonna steamroll us. Like everything's just instinctual to them. They know how to work phones. They know how to work laptops. They know how to work computers. They can do everything at the age, not even double digits yet. And considering how I guess technology is going in a direction where it's going to become much more complicated and mainstream in both the workplace and just general society, I mean, it's not looking good for us. I kind of foresee us becoming almost like the awkward middle child between like millennials, Gen Z, and like Generation Alpha.
What do you mean? We are the best.
What do you mean the best?
We the best.
Everyone thinks that they're the best.
That's
Yeah.
what you should do. It's a trick. Try this simple trick to not be upset with yourself. Lie.
I cannot.
Where are you? And I'm so sorry. I cannot sleep. I cannot dream tonight. I need somebody and always. The sick, strange darkness comes crashing in and sleeping every. That's the wrong lyrics.
I have no
Sorry, I'll stop
fucking
there.
clue what song that is.
It's I Miss You by Blink 182.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Only emo people would know this.
Yeah.
And I'm so sorry.
Why do you guys just stop being emo? Gosh.
I never had an emo phase actually. People find that kind of weird.
I'm still in my email phase.
Aside from
I-
the vibrant hair.
You don't have to be emo to have
You don't
vibrant
have
hair.
to have. You don't
No,
have to
it's
have
goth
dark hair
people
to be
that
emo.
have dark hair.
I thought I'll
Yeah.
be honest, as someone who was neither goth or emo, I just always thought you had to have dark hair to be goth and emo. I never had either of those phases. I feel like I kind of missed out, but at the same time, I feel like
So what's
I don't know.
What's the difference between emo
Dimitri-
and punk?
before we get into that, Dimitri, did you ever have a goth or emo phase? Because people look at me weird when I say that I never had either of those phases.
That's a good question. I'll get back to you when I have more ideas.
Fair enough. I guess
I'll
for
get back to
me,
you when I
my
have more stories about my past.
fair enough. Okay, what was your question, Dimitri?
I was asking Amy if there's a difference between emos and punks.
Yes.
Well, yeah. Punk is more of an ideology of going against the man. And emo is just being really emotional and dark and depressed.
But
Kind
they
of
dress
like
so similar.
John Denver.
But they dress and act so similar. How can you tell the difference?
I don't know.
I'll be honest,
ask 'em.
I can't really tell the difference. I don't think. I like to think most people who are either emo or punk don't purposely go out in public and just go, "Yup, I'm punk as shit," or "I'm emo as shit," and
Are
just
you
start
saying
yeah,
don't do
yeah.
that?
Well,
Oh,
I
you
can't
know, I
speak because
do.
I never had those phases.
Well, I go out all the time and I'm like, oh, I should do my makeup so I look super emo today. I do that. You know, black lipstick, purple and black eyes, shit like that. Um, I do the stuff like that, if that counts for trying
guess
to
in-
look emo.
I guess in terms of aesthetic, I've been told I have a metal aesthetic, but that's just because I wear a lot of like metal band shirts, so it's not too hard.
Yeah, I can
That would
see
be
that.
understandable. Kind of makes sense.
And no, I guess the black hair also helps, and especially when I wear my black earrings. Not the pearls. I normally wear pearls, but sometimes I'll wear black earrings. Well, I think maybe you saw them, Amy, before. Rose, I don't think I've worn them in front of you. But
Yes, you
if
have.
I have. Okay, my black earrings. Which is my natural, hair color, which is black, and my,
Shout
Metallica,
Shout
Iron
out
Maiden shirts. Then yeah, I guess I've been told, hey, you look kind of metal. I'm like, oh, thanks. I'm metal thrashing. That's a song by Anthrax. I don't own that.
As the Discord mutes them temporarily as they peak their audio. Shout out to all the people that have natural black hair.
Me.
Wow.
Double shout out to the people that have natural black hair that aren't a form of Asian.
Me.
Aw.
Wow. Okay. I see how it is.
Ayo.
Freaking racist.
I thought
Mhm.
Michael was racist.
Mm,
No,
you're also
sir.
racist.
I mean, at least
I
he
can
has
be
a good,
racist
They're a
if
minority.
I want to be, I suppose.
you know.
If
at
we're gonna
least-
get into that debate, though, I think everyone is a little racist, whether they subconsciously believe it or not.
you know, at least
You ever
we
hear
can,
the song on YouTube?
Which song?
There was a song on YouTube. It was when I was younger. It just was called "Everyone's a Little Bit Racist Today."
I mean, it sounds
Everyone
familiar,
makes
but no.
judgments, clap clap, based on race.
It sounds familiar, but no. But we can at least give Michael some praise by the fact that he hasn't had any racial slurs yet today. At least in the chat.
Why would you say
Uh,
that on the podcast?
It builds
Yeah.
character.
What do you mean it builds? It builds character.
We're lore building here.
This is. I don't like that.
I don't know.
I will say that a lot of people, and don't you lie, have had that had that edgy phase in
Yeah,
middle school where
There's a
you
difference between being edgy and being goth/emo.
Yeah.
yeah, fair enough. I remember, Amy, when you were a conservative.
Yeah, that's an unfortunate time of my life.
I'm
That
just
whole
saying,
like 9 months, I was
even
conservative.
I'm just saying, even
What?
I'm gonna
I was a
if we're
communist,
we're
right?
if we're outing people, I'm just saying, even when I was not as progressive as I am today, and we'll get into that more in depth when it comes to politics during the next podcast, I would imagine. I will say I was never more conservative than Amy. I'm just saying, ever. And
I
I'm
was
the
doing it
cis
mostly
one.
to fit in, okay?
Just wanted to fit in, huh?
You don't understand. When all the other debate kids around you are conservative, you kind of give in.
All the
I
other
mean,
people around me were conservative also.
same. But, like,
Like, were you constantly debating bills with them?
no.
Exactly. So
I
you
wasn't
want to
in.
join their side eventually.
You want to join them eventually?
I
That
don't
does.
think I want to join them.
That's less you having your own opinion and standing against them, and more just you caving into them.
Yeah, I did. I know
That is
that.
how. That is how. I guess.
You
Mob
do know
will
you have to
work.
make sacrifices when you're popular, right?
I didn't.
Ayo. Yeah, when
And
they're
like I was president for 2 years.
president of what?
So of the high school.
I didn't go to your school.
President of your mom.
Hey, you
I don't
leave
think
my
I
mother
went.
out of this.
I don't think I even remember that honestly. But I mean, hey, dope. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I was in Senate in the ninth grade, and then when I got to PHS, I ran for president and then won. And then I ran for president again and won, and I ran for president again and lost.
Wait a minute, your guys' high school had actual in-depth politics?
I don't even remember this happening. I was mainly at Pierce during these times.
Yeah, I know it was, but luckily, one of the years while I was president, I was hanging out at Pierce most of the time, anyways.
Was it a...
I didn't do much as president actually. All I did was make the float.
Was it 2019 or a different year?
Uh, both 2018 and 2019.
Oh. So around the time that I joined the group.
Yeah. But I didn't talk about it much because it didn't
Didn't have
matter because
relevance.
being president is just a popularity contest. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, even
mean-
I mean that translates a lot to in like
I mean,
politics in the adult world as well. Unfortunately,
at the same time, like, really, the president of a student body isn't the most popular person. It's the person who said that they wanted to do the job that everyone else agreed, like, yeah, okay, you can do it.
I'm not sure if it was just my own perspective, but I feel like people were more involved in like the junior high elections. I remember as
Wait
a
a minute,
kid
your
than the high
middle
school
school had
elections.
elections?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I totally feel like the junior high elections were more involved than the high school ones. The high school ones, I feel no one really, like a lot of people just were indifferent.
I
But
swear,
the junior
my,
high
Yeah.
ones,
No one really cared.
I swear,
Yeah.
my
The-
school
That's
did,
why
like,
I won
nothing.
2 years.
My high school did, like, nothing like that. At least something that I
Well.
noticed. Then again, most of their, like, school event advertising was done over social media. And at that time, I had, like, 0 social media, so it's like, can't exactly be informed if you're not receiving any information.
right? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Every election, in real, whatever you run for, you gotta have ground game going. You can't just hide behind your phone or computer. Gotta get out there, talk to people. That's how it works, even nowadays.
Yep.
Dude, I'm too scared to talk to strangers. That's
Yeah,
not true.
I mean, fair enough.
I'm scared to
Become
ask
unscared.
things from people. I'm not scared to just say random things to people. I'm more scared to ask things of others, I feel.
How long is this podcast going till?
Until you guys decide it's gone long enough.
You know what? Let's go for like 9:30. How about that?
If that's what
Okay.
you want.
That'll give us like. Sorry, I forgot when we started because we had some issues. When did we start? Like 8:30 ish.
Ish.
Yeah, full hour. Okay. Yeah, let's go for that. But yeah,
Boss
I
man
mean,
has
fair
spoken.
enough. I mean, as I can't judge Amy too much, you know. I mean, you do things in the moment and you look back on them and and also just you think, oh God, why did I do that? But everyone lives their own life, and hey, as long as you're happy, that's all that matters. I find that as I grew older, though, especially now that we're into young adulthood, I it's kind of funny that it's almost the exact opposite now. People like you just when you are unabashedly yourself. If you try to,
Yeah.
um, fit in, purposely try to, go into cliques or whatever, that's when people really go after you and honestly just don't want to really be with you. And
Yeah.
Yeah, that
I,
only
I,
works in high school. It doesn't work in college, so you just have to be your normal self.
yeah,
Because in
and
college,
honestly,
everyone's just like, enough of the bullshit, I don't give a fuck.
that's how it should work in life in general. So, I mean, I don't even believe that you should try to pivot and if you want to be popular in high school and middle school, you guys do what you want to do, viewers out there. But
You
just
know, when you're in middle school and high school, nothing matters, so it's like, why not?
that's fair. I mean, you're a completely different person. I get that. So, I mean, there's a lot of things I would tell middle school me that not to do, and I'm definitely there with you. You grow as a person, and hey, make mistakes, learn a lesson. A lot of the times the hard way, but hey, things are gonna be all right.
If you don't make mistakes, you never learn.
Yeah, exactly.
And
And
because
if you
I never
don't,
make any mistakes, I will never learn. Because I am already perfect.
yeah, I mean that is how it works.
Yep.
Sound logic.
Well, what are
Why
we
do
talking about
people
now?
why do people just drive like assholes in the spring and summer?
I don't know, I don't even have a car.
That's a good
You know,
question.
uh,
Imagine not
Washington
having
has
a car.
crazy characters.
Well, I'm
Not gonna
sorry that
lie.
I'm poor.
I'm poor too.
I'm poorer
I'm
than
bored
you.
too.
I'm poorer than either of you combined.
I
Let's
sleep
not-
on a couch. Do you really want to compete on this?
Yes.
Can we not compete on how poor we are to each other, please?
Because you would lose, Rose.
Well, no, I just
No, I'm
Look,
teasing.
you have a
I'm just-
car, and that's
I
what
know how
matters.
poor we are.
I'm just teasing you, Rose.
If
know
you have
that.
a
I'm
car,
sorry.
clearly you have
I
more
have a
money.
car because my grandparents and all three of my parents had to go in to buy me that car.
Oh. Yeah, none of my family can afford to buy
Hi,
me a
Rose.
car, unfortunately.
I mean, it is tough, It is sucky that a lot of places are so car dependent in terms of how you have to get to them, appointments, jobs, school.
And that
I
is
mean-
quite unfortunate.
Why can't we just be like Europe and East Asia, where they have actual public transportation?
I mean,
And walkable
depending
cities.
on where you are, like there actually is some pretty good public transportation in parts of the Puget Sound.
in the main city areas.
I would say Puyallup, for example, is a pretty. Actually, if you live
It's
in like,
easy.
anywhere, like that's not in the South Hill area, it's actually a very walkable city. I will give credit to that, personally, in my opinion.
Lakewood.
Lakewood also. Lakewood is not too bad. A lot of long roads, but everything's kind of just there together. So I mean, there are places, and I'm just saying there are places in Europe where that are very car dependent. Probably anywhere in the European section of Russia, for example. Maybe the Baltic region. So I mean,
You know,
I'm just saying.
maybe next podcast we should talk about Russia and China.
Going for the big guns right away.
I will say this though.
We go from
Um,
introductions to Russia and China.
I mean, all things considered.
I will say this, on the topic of public transportation. Um, it would be nice for a blend, if not a majority, um, switch over to a public transportation with trains and even metro stations. Um, that way, there won't be so much of
Traffic
a
jam.
crowded on the surface. No, like a crowd on the surface with trains and railroads and whatnot, or like buses. There's like metro stations like underground. That would be nice, but I think with the metro stations, it would fit more in line with larger cities, which would be interesting to see that happen in Seattle, since they'll probably
Most of
have to
Seattle's
do a
rail-
lot of.
Most of Seattle's rail system's above ground too, so that'd be a big change for them.
Mhm. There is already like a metro station, but like even a larger metro station, it would be pretty interesting to see what they'll have to do with old Seattle. Uh,
Oh yeah, you know I forget that that's there. Old Seattle underneath the current Seattle.
yeah. Um, and with that being said, we'll have to address the homelessness that happens in Washington. Um,
Yeah. Definitely. Hmm. We're halfway there. And on a ending note, what is burning in Washington and why is there smog out here? I couldn't smell it, but like the sky was like clearly tinted with smoke. Yeah, and as a person who does not watch the news, completely out of the loop. But that is where we will be ending it today. Do we have an outro or something? Yeah, next time we'll be talking about China and Russia, maybe. Or we'll change our mind like right before starting. Who knows?